A gentleman here, and I feel very young when I pass the spirit world, and I wonder whether I may well just be 22, 23 when he passes over. I feel that he would remember the name of Christopher, or a Chris name, to be important. He passes quickly to the spirit world when he passes, and I feel that I pass outside or outdoors when he goes to the spirit too. When he links with me here, he's got dark hair, he's dark eyes, dark eyebrows. He's a good-looking boy, and I think he's taller than myself. He's broad as he links with me. And you know, I feel he's got a real passion for motorbikes, or a passion for scrambling bikes. I wonder whether he might know the name of Stephanie, linked to him, as it would have been in the lifetime. Would anybody here understand this information, do you think? Young lady just here. Thank you very much. And just yourself for the moment. That's smashing. Good. Hello there.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Let me think then. So would you recognise him to be 22, 23 when he passes?
24.
24.
Mm-hmm.
And would you know I pass outside when I pass? And that I'm tall and I'm broad with dark hair. Do you know all these things as well from me?
Yes.
My dark eyebrows. And I want to talk about there. Did you answer these names that I feel with him as well? Like Chris?
I had a friend was present at his death called Christopher.
That's fine. And do you know the name of Steve, Stephanie?
He's got a half-sister called Stephanie.
And a half-sister called Stephanie. Then may I work with you? Is that okay?
Yes.
And I know here that I would have passed over instantaneously with him. Do you see that for me?
Yes.
I don't feel I've had something happen and then I've gone to hospital or anything like that.
No.
I feel I've gone in that moment.
Yes.
And I know as he makes me feel that his neck would have been affected there in the way that he passed.
Yes.
And I don't want to be too graphic with that, but I know that's why it was so very quick. You see this is my passing.
Yes.
He loves to wear really horrible T-shirts, like either brightly coloured T-shirts or with logos or jokes on T-shirts. You see that? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And I know he's come in here with a particularly stupid T-shirt on and thinking you'll recognise him for that. Do you see this, for knowing this? When I say to you he likes a drink, I don't mean over the top all the time, I don't. But I know he's coming here with a drink, like he wants to celebrate the fact he's coming for you. You see this? Or coming to speak with you there today. Are you okay, darling? I'll continue and we'll see how we get on. Is that okay? And as I know that he wants me only to be happy with you in this minute. Come on then, Mr. Man. Excuse me. You would have gone to see him 3 times after he passed.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yes.
So it's like you went 3 times significantly to a chapel of rest or something like this. And the last time that you went to see him, you placed an orange flower on his chest.
An orange rose.
Orange rose. On his chest. Do you see that for me there?
Yes.
But I know he wants to thank you for the orange flower that you laid against him there. And he saw that there from the spirit world. Did you understand also this reference there? To him with his motorbikes. Do you see that again?
He used to have motorbikes. Mm-hmm.
That's just fine. Because I know when I'm talking to him, I feel like it losing him because he's going up and down on a motorbike here in front of me, and I feel quite proficient on that bike. You see that? Or or even, do you know, like on a BMX, you can do good stunts and this kind of thing.
I used to when he was younger. Yeah.
I definitely feel like I'm a stunt rider, but I can do this stuff very easily for myself. Listen, where he passes over, I know that there were lots of flowers placed in the space where he passes for a long time afterwards.
Yes.
So you understand that for me there? Yeah. And I feel that place is remembered and honoured in the same way that maybe his grave space or his last resting space would be.
Yes, it is.
And I feel also that he wants to thank you for protecting him, which is a funny thing to say, isn't it? For protecting me and for looking after me. And I don't want to swear, but I know he could be a little sod at times, but I know that you saw always the best in him.
Yes.
Do you see that for me?
Yes.
Always the goodness in
Yes.
him. And I like it. You should recognise and remember here that you disliked his friends, or you hated his friends, really.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yes.
And because he's remembering there, you having a loathing for friends of his, which you recognise to be very bad influences in his life.
Yes.
You know that?
Yes.
And you should also know and remember how a friend of his had been in prison or had been in a lock-up device, something where I'm locked away.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
And as he's remembering there, and to be fair, that's at least 3, 4 of his friends that happened to.
Probably more.
Probably more. Because I feel that, and I know if I only had my time again, I would have taken more of your advice, you see that, and wouldn't have got involved in that same way. You have 3 of your own children.
He was one of them.
You should also understand how the name of Mark is important here to me too. Do you see
Mark
that?
was his brother-in-law.
His brother-in-law. I know it's important or relevant there to me, and I'm don't go on too much. And I know he comes back. I've got him back. Now, listen, where you have a photograph of him out on show, you have a photograph of him. It's in a frame, but he stands in a doorway. So you can still see the outline of the 2 sides of a doorway. I feel almost I want to put my hands like that at the doorway and poke my head in a room like this.
That's exactly what he was doing, yeah.
And you have that photograph of
Yes.
him. Now, all of that to one side. If I'm to remain with you, you would understand a baby that passes as a cot death, a baby born, a baby loved, a baby wrapped and washed and adored, but passes very small. Do you see that for me at all?
It was about 6 weeks ago.
Okay, but you know that baby?
Yes.
That's it. And you say the baby's only just passed then?
Yes.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? But I know as your son comes to me here, he holds a baby in his arms.
It was his niece.
His niece.
Yeah.
And he just makes me feel, I've got the baby, and he makes me feel this baby that passes. The nearest I can get to that is as a cot death, because I know that baby is loved in the world,
yeah,
and then passes. But I know he has the baby in his arms, and it will be wonderful maybe to extend the thought to the other family and friends here that the baby's in the other world. He's one of those who would look after that child for you. And last night, you lit a candle for your son in a prayer, or lit a candle with your son in mind, but I only want to go about one night to go. Do you see that at all? Promise me that's true.
Yes, I do.
And last night you lit a candle for him in his memory.
Yes.
Oh, that's fine then. Because I know he sees that and he knows this too. And weirdly enough, because I don't think you're Roman Catholic, but I do feel you've been holding rosary beads, or you've been holding a cross and a chain with prayer.
Yeah, that one.
Cross and a chain. And but would you also hold that as you pray, or would you hold that to try to get him to come close to you?
It's my daughter's. I hold it, hoping she comes.
I hope you get your message from her soon.
Thank you.
But in the meantime, God bless your heart.
God bless
you very
you.
much
Thank
indeed
you.
for listening to me.
My son's name was Carl. He was 25 when he passed over. Quite a bubbly character, loved fishing, loved his children, but he lived 100 miles away from me, but we saw each other as much as we could.
I don't want to swear, but I know he could be a little sod at times, but I know that you saw always the best in him.
Yes.
Do you see that for
Yes.
me? Always the goodness in
Yes.
him.
He was very much a mother's son, really. You know, we had a special bond.
I know when I'm talking to him, I feel like I keep losing him because he's going up and down on a motorbike here in front of me, and I feel quite proficient on that bike. You see that?
He had his first motorbike without me even knowing he had one. I only found out when the police actually came and said he'd been riding a bike that I didn't know about. So his passion, he loved motorbikes, he loved cars as well, but he had quite a few motorbikes in his time.
You should recognise and remember here that you disliked his friends, or
Yes.
you hated his friends, really.
Yes.
And you should also know and remember how a friend of his had been in prison.
I was quite aware that some of them were quite dodgy characters, and a few of them been in prison, and probably more since, but some of them were not very desirable to me anyway. But nevertheless, they were his friends, and whatever he chose was his choice.
He passes quickly to the spirit world when he passes, and I feel that I pass outside or outdoors.
Carl committed suicide. It was 15 years ago now. I had a feeling for quite a while that something wasn't quite right, but he always tried to hide it. His marriage had just broken up, and he was very depressed, although it was still quite a shock that he actually went down that path, and he committed suicide, and the police came to me and told me what he'd done, and it was just horrendous, and it's been a long old struggle to even come to terms with it.
Where he passes over, I know that there were lots of flowers placed in the space where he passes.
Carl actually committed suicide by jumping off a bridge, and it was over a motorway, and the bridge takes from one village to another village really, and when I went there to see where he died, there were flowers everywhere along all the railings. People had put flowers there, and so for a few years I continued to do that, myself.
You went 3 times significantly to a chapel of rest or something like
Yes.
this.
Carl was in 2 lots of chapel of rest, one where he died and one when I brought him home, and I visited him altogether 3 times.
I know he wants to thank you for the orange flower that you laid against him there, and he saw that there from the spirit world.
Carl wanted to be cremated, but I had his ashes interned, and I threw an orange rose on top of the ashes when they were buried.
You should also understand how the name of Mark is important here to me too.
Mark was Carl's brother-in-law, and he was the only male on Carl's wife's side of the family, so they got on quite well.
He just makes me feel I've got the baby, and he makes me feel this baby that passes. The nearest I can get to that is as a cot death.
A few days before I came to see Tony, Mark's daughter had had a baby, and who died at 2 days old, and I believe that Carl had come through to let Mark know that everything was all right there.
I do feel you've been holding rosary beads, or you've been holding a cross and a chain with prayer.
Yeah, that one.
4 years ago, I found my daughter dead, and I had spoken to a medium since her death who told me that my daughter had got this cross, and which I didn't know she had it, and asked the medium to tell me to look for it in her jewellery and wear it, and so I have done since. My daughter she was 34 when she died, and she had a rare syndrome called Cornelia-de-Lange syndrome, but was very capable and looked after herself, and she was just a one-off. The day I found her was the day before I was getting married, and she was going to be my bridesmaid. There was no cause of death. I went into her flat and she was dead under a duvet. They just put it down to early death syndrome.
I hope you get your message from her soon.
Thank you.
But in the meantime, God bless your heart.
God
Thank you
bless
very
you.
much
Thank
indeed
you.
for listening to me.
Although he didn't bring my daughter through, it doesn't surprise me very much because she wasn't very keen on men. As soon as she comes through to mediums, she comes through to women. And so that didn't surprise me that Tracy hadn't come through, but for Carl to come through and to have told me the things that he did tell me is uplifting.